Math and stats courses are often difficult for people because there is so much problem solving. That might be word problems or just a problem with specific directions. This video will help you identify and use some strategies to more successfully solve the problems. You may see a variety of steps for solving a problem if you look it up, but most of them can be broken into these 4 basic steps. First, understanding the problem. Second, devising a plan or maybe several plans. Third, implementing or carrying out the plan or plans. And finally, looking back or reflecting on what you did. Now, let's look at each of these in a bit more detail. Successful problem solvers spend a lot of time figuring out what the problem is asking and thinking about how to solve it. So, if you don't immediately understand how to solve a problem, don't give up. Take some time with this part of the process. Here are some things you can do. First, you've got to read the problem, whether that's in your textbook, on a test or a quiz, in a classroom setting, whatever. You should rewrite the problem in your own words. Use some of the reading strategies discussed in the Reading and Math video to help make sense of the problem. And that might include looking up words you don't know, connecting the problem to past or similar problem. So you're thinking, well, what's the same as something I've already done? Or what's different about this one? What's new? You might want to draw a picture, a graph, make a table or a list, anything that's going to help you make sense of what's going on. Additionally, you should be identifying important and not so important parts of the problem. So, what do you need to end up with to know that you've solved the problem? Write down exactly what you're looking for so that after you complete a lot of work to solve the problem, you'll have some idea if you've done what you needed to do. This is a good time to consider what information you do or don't have for solving. Perhaps you need a formula or some information that you've used before. Maybe you've memorized something, or you know how to do particular steps for a type of problem. Many people still find it helpful to write down just the important information, what they might still need, and what they're figuring out. This keeps them organized through the process of solving the problem and may help them connect with past learning. Now, devising a plan, that's often the place where students get stuck in the problem-solving process. First, when possible, take a guess about a reasonable answer. For example, let's say you're looking for the height of a house and you get some kind of answer of 5 inches. This is not reasonable. If you'd made a reasonable guess, you might have come up with anything from, 8 feet to 50 feet. And your guesses do not have to be exact, but they can certainly help you narrow down a range of answers that are useful. So there's a lot of strategies listed here on this slide. Any of these could be part or all of a good plan. You may use more than one, for sure. Some of the more common strategies, let's talk about those. Guess and check. Take a guess to the answer based on what you know and check to see if your guess fits with the problem conditions. Even if you are required by your instructor to use an equation, this is a good way to start, is with the guess and check. Another strategy, list numbers or variables that might make sense in the problem. Perhaps you need to figure out the cost for 25 people, let's say, for example. So start with the cost for one person and work your way up. Or maybe you need to find the cost for X number of people. Starting with the simpler numbers will help you see what you might be able to do with the variable. Using a model often means using a formula or a series of steps that you should know. Think about which models might fit the conditions of the problem. A lot of times that comes from the reading or the classroom instruction. Drawing a picture, especially when you're discussing physical shapes, rectangles or circles or whatever, is one of the best ways to figure out how to solve the problem. When you're allowed to, talk over your plan with other students to see what they're thinking and to help each other out. Now, once you've come up with a plan, it's time to try it. It's possible that you'll only have part of a plan to start if you're not exactly sure what to do. And that's okay. Try what you thought of and see where it leads you. It may help you think of something else, or you may see that it's not helping much at all. In either case, you are helping yourself figure out the problem. Don't worry if you make mistakes. Studies about the brain show that mistakes help your brain grow and learn new things. You may have to try several plans before you find a solution. That is also okay. Most successful problem solvers do not solve a problem the first time they attempt it. You have to be persistent. Now, looking back can mean several things. First, if you can check your answer in the original problem, you should do so. Does it make sense? Did you answer all parts of the problem? If I see a problem like this again, is there an easier way to solve it? If you find that the answer doesn't make sense for any reason, you should go back to the first step, understanding the problem, and see what else you can try to help understand and create a new plan for solving the problem. For most people, even those who are good at math, it takes a long time to be good at solving problems. Following the steps outlined in this video will help. However, it's likely that nothing will help as much as knowing that you have to keep trying to get better at it.